Hello, I'm Kevin Ye, VP of Sales with Ignite Consulting Group, developers of the Hot Sauce countertop selling software.
And hi, everyone. I'm Mackenzie Stutz, the marketing coordinator at Ignite.
Today, we're joined by a very good friend of mine, Lorenzo Marquez. Lorenzo, say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Lorenzo Marquez with the Marqet Group. I am proud to be working with Kevin and Mackenzie on today's session. And hopefully we can give you guys some good feedback and some things that you'll be able to put into practice in your own business.
Yeah. So Lorenzo and I have known each other for the better part of 4 years. We've used Marqet Group for a number of projects, both at Laser Products as well as here at Ignite Consulting Group. Lorenzo and his team have helped with our branding, launching new products, our website, social media, really all things marketing. So if you're looking for any marketing help, by all means, give Marqet Group a look. Lorenzo was also with Costantino for over a dozen years, so he knows the industry, as well as the two-time chairman of the NKBA, and remains actively involved. So by all means, we wanted to grab some of Lorenzo's time today. So Lorenzo, my first question is this. We're now into Q4, and while we still expect a nice Thanksgiving and Christmas bump in the countertop industry, I know a lot of fabricators are starting to think about what next year looks like. What does 2021 look like? So what does the first half of 2021 look like in your opinion?
I think it's going to be very different than the first half of 2020. I mean, hopefully it is. I think that from the experience that we have been working with the different clients that we have in the fabrication industry, as well as some of our industry contacts, most people that we talk to have experienced double-digit growth month over month from last year. And that is through a pandemic or through a moment where we would all expect the economy to sort of take a step back. The situation as it pertains to early 2021 is that people will still continue remodeling their homes because they're trying to create environments and spaces where they can entertain, they can feel secure, they can feel like they can bring people into their house, and they obviously want to be part of their entertainment spaces. The other situation too is that because there's been such a delay in appliances over the last quarter into the last quarter of 2020, you'll see that a lot of projects will pick back up after 2021 when appliances are available, gas ranges, cooktops, and whatnot. And so you'll see that is when countertops will start being in higher demand versus the situation that we experienced at the beginning of 2020. Typically, January and February are slower months in our industry, as you would know. But because we have such a lag on the process in stages of different remodels that are taking place today, even at home centers, you'll see that it picks up early next year.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. You know, I know when I've talked to fabricators across the country, some were just as busy as they've always been through the pandemic. Some declined in business, but everybody I've talked to at least has caught back up to business as normal now. So knock on wood, knock on stone, I hope that trend just continues.
Absolutely.
Well, Lorenzo, yeah, I think the new normal is now just normal, right? Where social media, virtual shopping experiences, doing a lot of the pre-work remotely versus in person when our customers are buying a countertop, it may carry on to be the standard. What do you think will stay going forward? And actually, what do you think will revert back to the old way of doing things in our industry as things start to settle?
Well, there's a couple of different things that I've noticed and I've seen. The first thing is that the surfacing industry has been living in the Stone Ages as it pertains to technology. We've been very slow to adapt and adjust and embrace technology for the mere fact that A, we don't think it's important, B, we don't see how it's relevant to our audiences or to the end user, and C, we just honestly don't know how to go about it. And so I think that finally the surfacing industry, for the most part, has embraced digital technology as a way of business. And so I think that is the new normal. I think that we've all embraced, doing conferences like this. We've all embraced being able to run our businesses remotely. We've all embraced giving people the opportunity to work from home in some areas. But we also have embraced the safety and security of our employees as well as our clients when we go do installations. So I think that is going to stay. Going back to the old ways, I think that this opportunity or this situation that we've gone through over the last few years, or the last few months, has given us the opportunity to go back and repurpose in our business, in our core relationship building elements of each transaction. No longer is the transaction coming to you, where you have to essentially, just pick up a call and call the builder and said, I haven't gotten any POs from you lately, what's going on? Now you actually have to go back and work on that relationship to make sure that you're selling one kitchen at a time versus just picking up the phone and requesting for POs. For manufacturers that are distributing product, it's not just about saying, we're giving you a 10% discount. It's about figuring out a ways to connect with the fabricator to ensure that they're building a relationship long term and that they're actually connecting them and also getting them to the right outlets so they can engage in a transaction. So to summarize, we're embracing digital technology. We're embracing the fact that we need to continue promoting safety with our employees and our customers. And we're also embracing the fact that relationship building is at its core element today to continue.
Yeah, that's
Great.
awesome. Lorenzo, sorry. We would love to hear from you kind of the importance of having a defined marketing strategy, a plan, and of course, execution, whether, that's been over the last several months and kind of moving forward. Why is it so important to have that defined strategy?
Well, I think the first thing begins with understanding what marketing is, right? Because a lot of time in my, I guess, 18 years now in this industry, I used to hear people referring to marketing as having a billboard or having their logo on the church newsletter. So marketing a countertop, a surfacing business is no different than marketing Coca-Cola or marketing any other item, because at the end of the day, we're working with consumer behavior. We're working with individuals that are looking for information, that are looking for the right sources, and that need to be catered to in specific ways. So having a marketing strategy is essentially developing a road plan that allows you to know where your future goals are going, what essentially you are asking to do with your business, how you're going to capitalize that business, how you're going to drive traffic into your business, what your sales growth looks like, what investments you have to do to get to that sales growth, and most importantly, having a very particular guideline on what you want to focus on. It's like having a blueprint for the construction of a house or a building. The challenge that we see obviously is that a lot of people are not interested in developing that because A, they don't have the time to do it, B, they don't understand how to do it, or C, they simply don't really think they need it. But if you look at what happened with COVID, those customers and those people that had essentially the ability to get going faster were the ones that already had a platform. And
Right.
So when you start working on a platform little by little and you start building that brand equity and you start building on your marketing elements and your assets, it's easier to react to a crisis and it's easier to adapt and adjust than it is to just all of a sudden want to jump in and do it from scratch. We had a huge spike of interest in building digital showrooms when COVID first started. And some people were just doing it because they heard other people were doing it. And the reality is that if you start preparing the stages of your business to where it satisfies the current needs, but also prepares you for the future, that's where the marketing strategy comes in.
Right. And kind of going hand in hand with that, marketing is what makes a company different, how they kind of approach that. So we'd love to hear, what makes Marqet different? What sets you guys aside? We'd love to learn more about you guys, especially when it comes to other agencies and companies in the stone industry.
Well, and thanks for the question. It's a really good question. And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves most with, because first of all, we have relationships in the industry that allow us to essentially understand the entire supply chain. We have the ability to be very well connected in the market and understand the distribution issues, the manufacturing issues, fabrication issues, consumer behavior, trade behavior. And so there is not another agency today in the industry that has as much experience and knowledge of the overall process as we do. We consider ourselves to be a sort of a helping hand for companies that don't have the ability to get to the next level or to simply prioritize marketing, because we come in as an outsourced CMO. So essentially, our team is prepared to help in either development or strategy of different solutions such as digital, print, merchandising, events, and whatnot, because this is our area of expertise. This is our playground. And so different from working with another agency is in a lot of ways, If you are looking for an agency locally, most of the time you're probably going to spend 3 to 6 months training them on what even a countertop is. And then you're probably going to spend some more time having access to the assets that you need for that campaign to be executed. With us, we're plug and play. The minute we start doing business with you, the next day or the same day, we can start developing a site, developing social media campaigns, developing creative, because we work on it day to day. And last, but probably most important of all things, is that because we're working with so many different fabricators across different markets and different demographics, we know what works and doesn't work, because we've done trial by error in a lot of different demographics, a lot of different markets. So we know exactly if something is going to be effective and if something is not going to be effective. If a fabricator comes to us and says, I want to run a 10% promo and I want the message to be 10% off, we're going to say 10% off of what? We've done that, it's not effective. You have to be able to convey the message in a way that attracts consumers or your audience. And so we're kind of critical in the sense, but that's the reason why we say we're kind of an outsourced CMO, because we know the business and we can help make those decisions.
Right. It's awesome.
Yeah, Lorenzo, I think you bring up some great points. On day one, you guys can walk in and start helping immediately, because not only can you talk the talk, but you've walked the walk as ready as well. And again, there's no substitute for experience. So Lorenzo, hey, thank you so much for your time and insights today. Some really great advice. As I've mentioned, I know Lorenzo on a personal basis, and he's done some tremendous work for a few companies I've been involved with and many companies in the stone industry. If you're looking to upgrade and evolve your Fab Shop's brand and marketing position, definitely go and visit marquetgroup.com. That's MARQET group.com. And of course, to learn more about how to maximize your profits with every job, to fund an investment into your marketing efforts, visit us at hotsauceyourtops.com. Lorenzo, thank you again so much for your time today. Stay safe. And as we always like to wrap it up, good selling.